What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Tuesday, May 8th, 2018. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside Tim Geddes.
Let him host. Today is going to be a doozy, Greg. Now, here's the thing.
Sure, lay it on me.
We have a great cast of hosts here at Kinda Funny Games
We
Daily.
do, yeah, a menagerie.
A whole bunch of different fun combinations, every which way you look,
Sure,
right?
sure.
I'm very happy that today's show, it's me and you.
Me too.
I think that we're going to nail this. We're going to knock it out of the park. You know what I mean?
Wow, okay, that's awesome, yeah.
It's a baseball reference.
Sure, I'm glad you're so excited for this. I didn't think this would be a show you'd be so excited
That's
for.
weird, right?
Yeah,
a lot
it's-
of Nintendo stuff, a lot of Square stuff. Wow.
Oh, sure, that happened, but more importantly, I'm the first person in the world ever to platinum Tacoma. Thank you. Thank you, Big Kev Dog. Of course, you can go right now to youtube.com/kindafunnygames. Watch Steve Gaynor present me with a real platinum trophy as we earn the first platinum trophy ever in Tacoma.
I love it.
Fulbright's first platinum trophy of all time. I made it happen for you. I'm sorry I failed John. Gone home. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show. Right into kindafunny.com/KFGD with your questions, comments, concerns, bad PSN names, and more. Of course, then you can watch us record the show live on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. If you're watching live, you have a special job. Go to kindafunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw it up so we can set the record straight for everybody watching later on youtube.com/kindafunnygames and listening later on podcast services around the globe. Housekeeping for you. Fulbright Platinum Trophy, that's me. First in the world, no big deal. You can go to PSN Profiles, you can verify it right there. You can watch it on youtube.com/kindafunnygames. Also, today we're brought to you by patreon.com/kindafunnygames, but I'll tell you about that later. For now, let's get to a super stuffed Roper Report. Time for some news! Kept you on your toes today. 5 items on the Roper Report.
A baker's dozen.
But first, let's start with Brandon from motherfucking North Carolina.
Woo-hoo!
He writes into kindafunny.com/KFGD and says, "Hey guys, Greg, just let Tim talk about this whole episode about Nintendo,
Let
damn
him
it."
talk.
First up on the Roper Report, Nintendo Switch Online has been detailed. I'm reading straight from Nintendo. Nintendo revealed more information about Nintendo Switch Online, including pricing, save data, cloud backup, and additional details about the classic NES games subscribers will be able to play when it launches in September. Let's go through the bullet points. US pricing. Various price points offer a variety of affordable options for different players. Individual memberships are 1 month for $3.99, 3 months for $7.99, 12 months for $19.99. There's a family membership for 12 months, which is $34.99, a $5 savings. If you were going to buy two at once. With a family membership, up to 8 Nintendo account holders will be able to use the Nintendo Switch online service, even on different systems. Let me take back what I just said. That's a lot different than $5. I was just saying if you're buying 2, like I will be for my wife. Then, Nintendo Entertainment System, Nintendo Switch Online. Subscribers will have access to NES, Nintendo Switch Online, a compilation of classic NES games that, period. The collection will initially include 20 games, with more added on a regular basis. At launch, previously announced games, Balloon Fight, Dr. Mario, and Super Mario Bros. 3 will be joined by Donkey Kong, Ice Climber, The Legend of Zelda, Mario Brothers, Soccer, Super Mario Brothers, and Tennis. An additional 10 launch games will be announced in the future. For the first time ever, players will be able to enjoy these classic NES games online. Depending on the game, players can engage in online competitive or co-op multiplayer, or take turns controlling the action. Friends can even watch each other play single-player games online and quote-unquote pass the controller at any time. Every classic NES game will support voice chat via the Nintendo Switch Online smartphone app. It will also be possible to play these games offline. Next bullet point. Save data cloud backup. By using Nintendo Switch Online, a backup of Nintendo Switch save data for most Nintendo Switch games will be stored online for easy access. This is great for people who want to retrieve their data if they lose, break, or purchase an additional Nintendo Switch system. Next bullet point, online play. A Nintendo Switch Online membership will be needed to participate in co-op and competitive online features for many current and upcoming Nintendo Switch games, such as Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, ARMS, Mario Tennis Aces, fuck yes, is Greg Miller, and Sushi Striker, The Way of the Sushido, fuck yes, is Greg Miller. Final bullet point, Nintendo Switch Online app. The Nintendo Switch Online smartphone application can be used to enhance the online experience for compatible games through voice chat and other features. Tim,
Yes.
what do you think?
It's been a long time coming.
It has?
I think that this says a lot about where Nintendo's at.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of interesting things. The internet ablaze right now.
Sure.
Obviously, there's two different sides. There's the extreme fanboys that are like, Nintendo can do nothing wrong. This is great. And then there's the people that are like, Nintendo can do nothing right. Fuck them. This is the worst thing ever. Cloud saves are free everywhere else. Hashtag save our saves. All that stuff, right?
Yeah.
I get it. I kind of fall somewhere in the middle of the two, where I actually think the biggest problem with this is that it's not enough money per month to end up being a good product. $20.
Oh, okay.
$20 a year. I can't believe there's this many NES games being offered for $20. You get them. You get those with the promise of more to come.
Yeah.
What that doesn't promise me is that we're getting Super Nintendo, N64, Game Boy Advance, Sega Genesis, GameCube.
To bring our friend Brandon from motherfucking North Carolina back into the fray, his comment went on to say, of course I want to hear you guys' thoughts on the recently announced online structure. Personally, I think with the service being offered at crackhead prices, which I didn't understand in my first read, but I think it means cheap, especially in the family pack, the 20 NES games are a steal with the online bonuses. How do you think additional games will be offered and from other past systems? Will there be additional fees for N64 or GameCube titles? Maybe $2 more a month, for example. Thanks for your input and all you do. Put that chicken's face square in the pillow. Brandon's coming at it with a weird fire today.
Yeah,
I don't know if I like it or if I'm terrified.
Now, Greg, I want you to read the second story as well.
You want to put all the Nintendo Rock Block news together?
I feel like it's all part of the same
Number
conversation.
2. The Virtual Console is not coming to Switch. This is via Jason Schreier at Kotaku, friend of the show. In the wake of news that Nintendo Switch's online subscription service will include a Netflix-like library of NES games, fans have been wondering, is the Virtual Console coming back? The answer to that question is no, according to Nintendo. Quote, there are currently no plans to bring classic games together under the Virtual Console banner, as has been done on other Nintendo systems, a Nintendo spokesperson told Kotaku in an email late last night. That doesn't mean Nintendo plans to ignore its older games on the Switch, but it does mean that there won't be a dedicated brand for the classics. That's the information I gave you.
See, even that, though, that's not true. That there won't be a dedicated brand for the classics.
Okay.
That dedicated brand won't be called Virtual Console.
Okay.
So I do think that
So there's not a
Nintendo's-
dedicated established brand.
I think that what this statement is that Virtual Console, as we know it, is dead.
Dead,
I
yeah.
think what that does is allows Nintendo to distance themselves from the people that bought games on the 3DS, Wii U, and Wii, and that are like, oh, how come I can't transfer over? This is them being like, this is a different service, or it doesn't count.
Sure.
And like that sucks from a user perspective, but from a business perspective, it's super important. There's no way they were going to figure out some way to get the Virtual Console games over without charging people and upsetting everybody.
I want to, if we're doing this, if we're just shoving it all together and we're going to have one big old conversation about this, I want to invite Sean McCole, a.k.a. Fancy Killer Whales, to come into the mud with us. He wrote in to kindafunny.com/KFGD, just like you can, and says, is Nintendo no longer doing Virtual Console a huge misstep? Hey, Kinda Funny. With Nintendo announcing they will not be bringing Virtual Console over to the Switch, how much could this hurt them in the future? We know the Switch is selling like hot cakes, but Virtual Console was a huge asset on the prior consoles, like the Wii and the 3DS. Plus, Microsoft is finding major success on Xbox with their backwards compatibility program. Do you think a move like this could hurt the longevity of Switch? Thanks, Sean.
Let's look at the other side of it.
Lay it on me.
Let's look at the pros of not having Virtual Console on the Switch.
For Nintendo or for the consumer?
For both.
Okay.
Specifically Nintendo, but I feel like it does very much benefit the consumer at the end of the day. Indies. Right now, the Nintendo Switch is the indie machine, and
Hell yeah.
people like go for the golf stories of the world, right? There's a ton of indies like Celeste that are on other platforms, but a lot of people
You
are buying it
associate
and
with-
selling
yeah.
the best on Switch, and we're seeing this time after time. If there was also a Virtual Console mixed in there, it dilutes it and it makes the eShop even more of a mess.
Okay.
So I feel like there's right now it's starting to get difficult with all the damn Mahjong games coming out on
All right,
Switch.
let's not talk shit on Mahjong.
There's enough of them. We have enough.
Hey
on the
man,
Nintendo
it's like,
Switch.
for me, Mahjong is like the Battle Royale game. As long as somebody's putting a new twist on it, I don't mind.
I guess you're right. But I feel like, this is Nintendo making a conscious decision to keep supporting the indies and to keep the eShop downloads alive of where they're at and thriving. I do think that overall there's a lot of missteps happening where it's like, this is too little too late for me, where I would have hoped that when this Nintendo online system was announced, this is essentially what I've been saying it was going to be. a Netflix style virtual console, and that's going to be the real thing of why people are paying. No one's fucking going to want to pay this much money to play these games online. And even if they do, it's not that much money. $20 a year, $35. If you have friends that have Switches, you can get it down to like $5 a year to be able to play.
Oh, if you're going to share, you're talking about gaming the system.
Guess what?
You're a scheming
gaming
motherfucker.
the system. We're
you're
a family.
scheming motherfucker.
I don't know if that's gaming the system. That's like what the product is. Huh. So kind of funny. One account, we all get it. We're good, right? $5 a year. That's absolutely nothing to be able to play Smash Brothers.
There's got to be some catch to it, though, right?
No. Why would there be?
I don't know. I think about like when it's like a PlayStation Network with like master accounts and sub accounts. What a family plan is going to actually equate to, where you're playing Super Mario, so Kevin can't or some shit.
That's different though, because that is based on the system. Like when you have PlayStation Plus online on that system, any account that's on that can play it because the master account has it. This is people have different systems.
Okay. So
these 8 different systems will be able to play online with each other.
Gotcha.
Like that's the point of the family package, right? Okay. So families can play online together.
You're just doing that Tim Geddes thing, which I wasn't even thinking of. I was just like, well, I'm going to buy the family pass for Jen and I. You know what I mean? I wasn't thinking about the fact that
you're silly, dude.
I don't think like you. Kids. All right.
I don't know. It's not rocket science there, but I appreciate that.
I want to see. I don't trust it. Don't start.
I mean, it is what it is.
Don't start kicking your money around yet, kids. Wait till September. See what the rules are.
I mean, they're out there. Like that is clear.
Okay.
Like totally clear.
Okay.
So with that, it's like it is super cheap, but really to me the value is what this new virtual console system is, which is the 20 NES games. And what I appreciate the most about it is 20 games at launch. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And they're Switch enhanced, where there's the Joy-Con support. You can play multiplayer. You can play online. Like the images that they've shown of it, like it's not just a ROM. Like 4x3 thing. It's like, oh, there's stuff going on the sides. Like, that's cool. I appreciate that. I would much rather enhanced games that Nintendo takes time working on to put out to enhance the experience overall on the Switch instead of just another ROM dump of just games. I feel like it makes it more of an event. Now, the question is, how often will they refresh this? And is it going to be like Netflix? This is a great starting lineup of games, but every month are we going to see an equal amount? Every month are we going to see...
Here's what's coming to Switch Online. Here's what's leaving Switch Online.
Exactly. And I think that is what they need to do to keep excitement. Now, a couple days ago, we were talking about Xbox and PlayStation and how I think that they have too many services and it gets really convoluted and messy.
Yeah.
This is where I'm upset with this. I wish it was just $60 a year and it's like, hey, like there's 20 games. They're not all NES games. Here's one N64. Here's 3 Game Boy Advance. Here's whatever. Yeah, and like, not even modern games. Not even the new Switch games. I'm talking.
Oh, I don't mean like that. I mean like, hey, you're getting 2 NES games, 1 SNES, 1 N64.
I just feel like that to me would be like, oh man, like here we go. This is super easy to understand. My fear here, and to go back to the question from
Brandon, I think had the ones that were actually,
Brandon. It's like. And people were tweeting me yesterday. It's like, oh, well, how hard would it be for them to just add a $10, add-on update to get N64 games? Who
wants to start getting into that strata?
That starts getting super complicated.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is the one chance to come out and be like, here's a clear, concise system that's just going to work. They didn't do that, which to me says maybe that's not what they're going to do. And
well, technically, I mean, they did. This is right now, a clear, concise system that works, theoretically.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Down the line, maybe $20 a year is it, and you get unlimited Nintendo games.
Yeah.
Don't see that happening, but I would, instead of having every single game possible, I would rather they cherry pick certain ones and make them work better. Like, imagine Super Smash Bros. 64 with online play.
Yeah.
Melee with online play. F-Zero GX online. Like, that's awesome. And I feel like that is way more of a value than just having every video game. If you want to get old video games, there's a million different ways you can play them. So I don't know. This news is kind of like, I would say it's positive overall.
Okay.
And I think that I'm excited by it. I'm a little let down that it's not exactly what I wanted, but that's not how the world works.
Yeah, it's rare. It's rare that you get what you want, unless it's a Crash Bandicoot thing, and then a Spyro thing, and then the Return of Nintendo, and then a Smash thing. It's rare that it works out for you. What do you think this does for your other prediction that was not even prediction, hope that when they announce a date for it, that's also the date for Smash?
100%. I think the fact that Smash isn't mentioned here, and the Sushi Strikers and Mario Tennis are also not out, but confirmed. I think that they're trying to hold back and be cheeky about it. I definitely think that.
You think it's at E3 still, where they give this a date and then they give Smash a date?
100%. I also think that them getting this news out of the way is key. You know, like not having this bloat down and be the talk of E3 is a very smart call. I think this no virtual console news is a non-story. I really think it's just the brand.
What I like about it, right, is just I like the fact that they at least said it It isn't anymore. Like, here's the online structure. We'll answer the question about Virtual Console that we've been dodging since the announcement of the Switch. Like, here's a definitive answer. No, their Virtual Console is not going to be on Switch. Does that mean, you're not going to get a GameCube Classic lineup or label or something like that down the line?
I mean, the fact that the NES thing currently is called
NES, right?
It's called NES Nintendo Switch Online. There's gonna be more.
Yeah.
You know, like they didn't call it like Netflix like everyone's joking about.
That would be funny.
I don't know. I think this is great. And like, man, 20 games.
Yeah,
That's way more than I expected day one.
I think it does a lot in an interesting fashion for somebody like me. Where last night I saw the screenshot going around, and I was like, okay. No, it doesn't do much. I'm not gonna run out and do this thing. And then today to list off, I'm like, well, they got Mario on. You know, what I mean, they got Super Mario Brothers on there. I'm sure there'll be more. I'm sure Mario Brothers 3 is gonna be out there, right? Yeah,
it's on the list.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's
Mario
good for
2 is not, which is weird. But there's 10 unannounced games that we don't know yet.
It's like I want to. I still have never finished Mario Brothers 3. So to put that on the Switch, right? Like I'm like, all right, cool. And and it's like I'd pay $20 period for that game, let alone $20 for all these other games, and then other things that are gonna get and 10 more.
Do the math on that. If it was Virtual Console, these NES games are $5 a piece. Right? Is Super Mario Brothers 1 and 3 worth $5 again for the upteenth time that people have bought them? The answer is yes, I believe. But let's be real. Is Ice Climber worth $5? No, it's not.
Is tennis?
Like there's a lot of these games where it's like they're just not worth that.
Yeah.
But all these games for $20, the NES Classic, 30 games, and it was $60.
Yeah.
This is a good deal for classic games. And I feel like this is totally them saying like, this is the value of this online service. And you get to play the games and use voice apps and all this other stuff that makes people mad. But I'm like, I've been saying this forever about the Nintendo's online service. When they first announced it, I'm like, I'm not interested in it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Now I care.
Okay.
Because of this. I'm like, I'm going to like $20.
Yeah.
$5 if we do the family plan.
One thing you threw out at the beginning that I haven't been paying attention to the scuttlebutt on the internet. You were saying, oh, they got to you're making you pay for cloud saves.
Yeah.
PlayStation does too, right? PlayStation Plus is what enables cloud saves.
Yes, that's true. Cloud saves, but at least PlayStation has the option to back up your saves.
Oh, you're talking about some way to get it off the Switch. I see.
And you know, like that's a valid thing, but you don't get what you want. I
feel like that's another easy fix if they
firmware
wanted
update
to
or something.
Yeah, they have a USB slot on the dock. Just let me put a thing in there and do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited there'll be cloud saves and this type of thing where it's like, I'm gonna have my saves backed up, so
sure,
I'm fine with that. You know, if the people like are that worried about their saves, $20 a year, and like that's not a fun way to look at it, but it's like that's what Nintendo's giving you,
right? So when do you think we learn the next 10? Do we learn at the direct at E3?
I don't know. I don't know. I think it might be.
Because that could be a cool way to come out and do it. And I mean, what if they did announce something that's not NES?
They made it clear it's 10 more NES games.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the.
They've lied to us before.
They have, but not in like this type of way.
Okay. Just saying.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's just more of just like a press release at some point.
Okay.
It's weird that they didn't come out with just all 20 of them.
Please continue to be excited.
Yeah.
Please continue to talk and hypothesize.
Yeah, but maybe they would make it part of their presentation. I don't know. So, I just like I guess the thing that bums me out the most is where past a year into the Switch's life cycle, and I still can't play Super Nintendo games on it. You know, I still can't play Super Mario World if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But hopefully this is the start of a future where not only I will be able to play those games, but they will be enhanced and optimized for the system, which I'd much rather that than have everything. And when you have everything, you don't want to play anything.
Very true.
You know, so them making a big deal out of this, and if they do something that's monthly and make it a Netflix thing of this month's, like I was talking about Gamescast a couple weeks ago, like it's Mario month, so it's the whole Mario collection. Oh, it's Zelda month, whatever. Like that creates excitement, you know.
So where are you right now then? Final point for you. Where are you excitement level for this? You're just like happy. You're happy with this announcement, but your socks aren't blown off?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about this is there's nothing that truly affects me except for the fact that I get to play Super Mario Brothers 3 on my Switch.
Sure.
So I'm excited about that.
Okay.
The online stuff, I don't play games online like that. So it really doesn't affect me.
You're going to play Smash online like that, aren't you?
Maybe. I don't know. I like playing Smash with my friends. You know?
You have all these best friends.
So far, online services, like every time I've played games in the past on online stuff, it's not a good experience. And especially with Nintendo, Smash on Wii U online was not a good experience.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to fix it. I don't think paying for it's going to fix anything.
Okay. And then what does this do does this change your excitement level for E3? Are you expecting more or less or anything out of Nintendo differently?
I mean, I love that this all to me kind of confirms that like a September 21st-ish Smash Brothers date is imminent. And that excites me, Greg.
Good.
Because, I mean, yeah, like the fact that they talked about online before E3, I really think teased them up to be like, and it's launching with Smash. And because earlier I'd been predicting Smash was going to be more in the late October.
Yeah.
Like gearing up for Black Friday area. But no, September, boys. Let's go.
Let's go. Speaking of getting Tim Gatorade hype moment, number 3 on the Roper Report, Square Enix has announced an E3 showcase. It's going to be Monday, June 11th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. The text on the save the date said, "Join us for a special video conference to discover our exciting lineup for E3 2018. Special shout out to Wesley LeBlanc over at Twinfinite, who tweeted me about this, trying to get his name mentioned on this show. He's also the one who on Reddit was over the weekend was like, hey, could you start, I got a job at Twinfinite. Could you start giving the authors names for their articles? And I was like, all right, fine. So there you go.
Shout out to you, boy.
One day you'll actually write something I care about, Wesley, and you won't be super late to the party.
Damn.
Oh, burn. Kidding around. Kevin, are you building more Legos over there? What are you doing? See you over there moving your fingers around in a weird way.
I was pulling out split ends from my beard.
Perfect. All right. Tim.
Yes.
Are you excited about this news, a Square Enix E3 showcase?
I very much am excited about this news, Greg. So here's the thing. Square Enix, obviously one of my favorite publishers just because when it comes down to it, Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts. And now with the addition of like Tomb Raider and their whole kind of Western division making really cool games, Avengers, right? Like all this stuff, like they have stuff to show. In the history of E3, like there's the big three that always have the press conferences or Nintendo showcases, whatever it is. At some point in the last decade, Konami used to have them. You know, Bethesda now does, didn't used to. Ubisoft, obviously, and Activision used to. It doesn't anymore. So we've kind of seen this like ebb and flow of who's doing it, but there's been a couple constants. Square Enix, I couldn't remember if they had done one before, an actual press conference, because I vaguely remember it happening. It actually did happen 2 years ago.
Okay.
In 2015, or 3 years ago. 2015, the year that the Final Fantasy VII remake was announced at the Sony conference.
Sure.
And that sparked in my mind. I remember being at the GameSpot War Room when we did the live shows.
Yeah.
And we just didn't cover it, like, because it was happening and it was at a weird time. It was like after Nintendo's.
Oh, on Tuesday?
On Tuesday. Okay. But it was honest to goodness.
Oh, I do vaguely remember that. Yeah, we had to run out and do our other stuff. We had no time.
Yeah,
Okay.
but like there was people getting on stage doing demos and stuff, and like I wanted to take some notes about what was shown there.
Okay.
So we can kind of think about, if they're doing this again,
what are they going to show
in
this
a more
time?
modern style? What could they show? Because are we getting our hopes up or not? They showed Just Cause 3.
Okay.
They showed Near New Product. A quick trailer showed off a silver-haired girl with a sword in a dark forest, but did not go any deeper. The Near New Product, as it's currently called, will get a name this autumn, and that should reveal a few more of the story details for what will most likely be a dark action RPG. This comes from Polygon.
Yeah.
So it's like we know that it ended up being Nier Automata. So that was the debut. Rise of the Tomb Raider. We saw it, I think, at Microsoft's conference a couple days earlier, but we got more gameplay here. Lara Croft Go announced there. Final Fantasy VII Remake trailer shown again. Kingdom Hearts Unchained, the mobile game, was shown off for the first time. And then we got a new Kingdom Hearts 3 gameplay trailer that showed a ton of gameplay, debuted a few new worlds. World of Final Fantasy got another trailer that we already saw at the PlayStation thing. Hitman had a whole segment to it with demos. Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness was shown. Deus Ex Mankind Divided. It's not clear if that's where it debuted.
Okay.
I think it is.
Okay.
But I don't know. Let us know on kindoffunny.com/you're wrong. And that's where Project Setsuna was first shown.
Oh, okay.
So that, I remember as it was happening, it was kind of like who cares?
Yeah.
Besides the Kingdom Hearts 3 thing that I was hyped about.
Of course, yeah.
But looking back, I'm like, oh wow,
That's a
they
good
actually they showed a lot of stuff for the first time that ended up being really good games.
Yeah. Reverse
excites me.
Flash writes in thekindoffunny.com/KFGD just like you can and says, hey, Greg and Tim, Square Enix is doing an E3 video showcase this year. What are your hopes and what are your expectations from it? They must have quite a bit to show since they haven't done one of these in a few years. I personally think this means we will see Final Fantasy VII Remake and Avengers in some form, along with Kingdom Hearts 3's release date, World Ends With You Switch, Final Fantasy 15 DLC, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider gameplay. I expect some new announcements as well. Maybe a near sequel or a tease of another big JRPG. Thanks, Reverse Flash.
Yeah, man.
Yeah?
It's an exciting time. We get another press conference, and it has a primetime slot too. It's Monday 9 a.m., which is we've never really had one there
10 a.m.
before. 10 a.m.
Yeah,
10
it's
a.m.
after Microsoft, right? That's the deal, I think. Kind of funny.
After Microsoft?
I thought so. I thought Microsoft was before.
That sounds real early, right?
Oh well, no, I'm wrong. Microsoft moved to Sunday. Remember? I'm thinking of old school days.
You're right.
They're not doing that anymore.
But that's great. So I think that says that they have something to show. The fact that it's not just what they've done in the last couple years,
Sure.
which is Square Enix Presents, and that's just kind of like their treehouse essentially at E3, where they just do the live stuff.
Tomb Raider is guaranteed from you, Reverse Flash.
Totally.
Yes.
Now,
100%.
what we need to think about though is what are they going to show at Sony and Microsoft? And it shows in the last conference that they don't give a fuck. They'll just show the shit again.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if that could change anything.
Interesting.
Like Avengers, for example. But again, I guess if it was at Microsoft, they would just show it.
I think. Doggies. I would say Tomb Raider's just going to be at Square Enix now. I think they won't be on Microsoft or Sony stage.
Easy. Yeah, good call.
Because there's so much going on both those stages that they're like, oh, cool, you have your own thing. And with all due respect, Tomb Raider hasn't set the world on fire, blah, blah, blah. Avengers, will be on, if it's there, which I think they have to do something, will be on, like we've talked about it before, Xbox's stage, I think. Mm-hmm. And then they'll definitely double dip and put it on their thing again.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised, if they closed the Square Enix conference or video conference with something from Nier, just a tease of a sequel.
Kingdom Hearts 3 will be shown. We'll get a release date.
I think it opens
with it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a ballsy move.
You got to.
Fucking like it, Greg Miller.
2018,
I just got tingles.
Square Enix, bring it to the table.
Oh, I love it. That'd be great.
The 2015 thing you brought up with Just Cause 3, I could easily see them doing another Just Cause. I think that's a game that people like. I don't think it sets the world on fire. Now, granted, the thing is, Square seems to be a little tepid on Western releases.
And that's why I think that Avengers potentially could be throwing them all into a tizzy. So it's I would not be surprised if they added even more collaboration units to help out with that game.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
It's Avalanche, right?
Yeah.
For Just Cause?
Yeah.
I can see them being maybe pulled on to help with Avengers, depending how big they want to make that
Interesting.
game. I don't know. Pulling that out of my ass, but
sure. But that's an interesting point.
World Ends With You for Switch, yeah. It'll definitely be there because I don't think it'll be.
Is there a release date on that yet?
No. It's just 2018.
Okay. What do you think? What did we get for the remake of 7?
Final Fantasy 7 Remake. There was an interview with Nomura a couple days ago that I was reading on Reset Era where, it's a long ass thing that really just was translated, so it's super awkward. It did include a please be excited somewhere.
Please be excited.
But they were talking about a lot of changes they're making in the game and where they're at, and they're working on the foundation, which is not something I want to hear. But he did say something to the extent of, we're working really hard because we need to have something ready for the next big show or something like that.
Okay.
And so it's you're E3?
Yeah.
Right? And if they're doing a conference, that'd be a good time to show something.
Yeah, it would be.
I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it right now.
What's your hype level on this conference?
This conference?
Yeah.
Pretty hyped, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of games that I care about.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. I feel like it's a weird one because it's there's a hype level associated with Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo that the Ubisoft and EA and now I guess Square and Bethesda don't really have for me.
Sure.
Where it's still really cool, but
they're the undercard to the main event that is Xbox.
Exactly. Even if the same game was shown on one of the other stages, it just has a bigger feeling to it, right?
Yeah.
But again, looking at this lineup, I'm really excited. I do think potentially Nier on Xbox One.
Okay.
That's
been rumored, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that finally happening.
Okay.
If that hasn't already been confirmed, I don't remember.
I think it might have been, but
maybe.
I can't. I mean,
if not,
it's
then,
one of those we've done it. We've definitely talked about it on this show, but I forget if it was Amazon France put it up or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I can see that, and teasing a Nier sequel, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Is this, as we talked about yesterday twice, where Fortnite comes out and says we're putting a Lara Croft skin in this game? No, the answer is no. That's
not here.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 15 DLC, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good. I'm glad that game never stops.
Final Fantasy 16.
You think that's the ending? That's the final.
And
that's the one more thing.
Octopath Traveler.
Yeah.
We'll see that. But Final Fantasy 16. I mean, why the fuck not? You know what I mean? let's start talking about it.
No,
so 10 years
not.
down the
Put
line.
some games out.
10
Fucking
years.
stop. Put the game out.
Well, the game's about to come out.
Put
They're
fucking
gonna need,
Kingdom Hearts out.
Kingdom Hearts is going to come out, and then we're going to need something to pretend isn't going to happen.
We'll see if Kingdom Hearts is going to come out. Number 4 on the Roper Report. The next Game Informer cover is Days Gone. This is from Jeff Cork over at Game Informer, who writes, in the June issue of Game Informer, we packed 14 pages with exclusive details and developer insight from that trip, including an extensive look at how Sony Bend is working to breathe life not only into the zombie apocalypse, but open world games in general. Sony has shown off Days Gone at E3 over the past couple years, but that's, by the way, those sirens are on our end, not on yours. Restarting the sentence. Sony has shown off Days Gone at E3 over the past couple of years, but we didn't fully appreciate what Sony Bend is doing until we played it for ourselves. Obviously, it's promotional text. I mean, as you would be, as we would hype anything we're doing or whatever. But I find it interesting that both, first off, cool that they're doing the cover for it. Mm-hmm. Cool they have new details. But I like that the paragraph before this that was kind of introducing was like, do we need another zombie game? After playing it, we say yes. And then I like the thing here of like, they've shown it before, but we didn't fully appreciate what Sony Bend is doing until we played it for ourselves.
Yeah. Andrew Rayner from over at Game Informer tweeted out some GIFs.
Reiner, right?
Reiner?
Yeah.
Is it?
That's how I say it, but I say every name wrong. Kindoffunny.com/you're wrong. Let us
I'm a
know.
fucking idiot, so I don't know. But he tweeted some GIFs of the game, like some pre-alpha footage that they have, and I'm like, this looks cool.
Yeah, that's what I've been holding off on, man, is I feel like we've seen just the tip of the iceberg when they really get into mechanics and what the world is and the game is.
The shit that I saw behind closed doors at the last E3 was very interesting to me and how different it was from the demo that they showed, where it's like, the seasons change and really affect the gameplay, and it was
dark,
the same mission, but snowy and dark instead of daytime.
Yeah.
And it really affected it. And I'm like, that seems very ambitious and cool and different than
there's something there,
before.
as I've said before, where I'm excited and I trust Sony Bend, and that's why I'm excited. But like what they've shown is, okay, cool. You keep saying it's more than a zombie game. Let's see if it's more than a zombie game. And that's why the Game Informer stuff is interesting. However, Eric K writes into kindoffunny.com/KFGD and says, hey, Greg and Tim, with the announcement that Days Gone is the cover game for Game Informer this June, do you think Sony is releasing the game this year? Are they sending it out to die next to Red Dead, or are they just going to pop a January, February 2019 on it to stop the questions? Love what you do. Stay hyped, Tim. Eric.
Interesting. I didn't think about what this cover means for its release date.
Me neither, because you figure this is exactly what they did with Spider-Man last month. Hey, Spider-Man's the cover, we have all this stuff, and we have the release date.
They will not put a release date on this game unless it is close.
I don't think you do the Game Informer cover unless it's close.
I mean, that's the key there.
Because I feel like this is the thing, is Sony's not stupid, and Sony Bend's a talented developer. But for Sony marketing, for whoever at Sony's reading the tea leaves, just Shuhei looking at Twitter, he understands that there isn't hype for Days Gone. That Days Gone, we see the thing, and it's always like, oh, that's cool, and then it kind of fades away, and then we get this thing, we talk about E3. Kids have written into KFGD about it. I was just like, E3 pops up, but it talks about Days Gone. Why is that? They understand there's no buzz for it. So for me, this is the opening salvo of the marketing for Days Gone. It's here. Here's all this information, which leads us perfectly into E3 to now give you a giant deep dive on this. Somebody's going to walk up there and just play it, hopefully. Just here we go. We're going to play another mission. We're going to show you that it isn't a zombie game, and this is how the open world stuff works, and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. And then does that end with a release date that is 2018?
I mean, my thing is, I don't think that they're going to put a 2019 release date on it.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I think that when you look at Sony in the last couple of years, like with Horizon and what's up, they've learned to not put release dates until they know.
Yeah.
They're going to hit it. And I feel like putting a release date so far out they're shooting themselves in the foot. They won't hit it then. I feel like the moment it gets a release date, they know they can ship that game.
Yeah.
Or like not right then, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they know they'll be able to hit it. Like we saw with God of War, we're seeing now with Detroit, like going forward. They are on such a good track record with their exclusives right now.
Yeah.
And not having them delayed and just like everybody's like, hell yeah, you know, that I feel like they know they need to keep.
Here's
that
my
going.
counter argument to it, is that I think Sony Bend's been working on this game for a long time. And I wouldn't be surprised if they've been close to being ready to go for a long time, at which point it just becomes polishing and bug fixing and all this other stuff. And I'm not saying they're like winding this game down the studios, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, I think they're to a point where like, you have Spider-Man and you have Detroit and you've God of War and all. Okay, cool. Where do you see us going? Oh, cool. We'll adjust this, do that. I think that you can come out and put January whatever 2019 on it, give it a real release date and hit it because they've had enough time to prep for that, and then also to continue that hype train, their at least the marketing hype train of like, here's what this game is and why you should be excited. I feel it gets way too complicated to put it out this year because then we start getting in the way of Spider-Man is coming out in September. You know what I mean? And that's
let's start breaking down the months.
Sure.
So because we can assume that Sony wouldn't put two of its big exclusives in the same month.
Correct. No, yeah. So I'm not. Yeah, it wouldn't be September.
So
That's
that means
Spidey.
let's June. So Detroit's May, right? End of May.
No, yeah. It's coming up. It's like 2 weeks or 3 weeks away now. 2 weeks away.
June. We don't have a big one, but
yeah,
way too
E3.
early.
Yeah.
E3 happens July.
Yeah.
I think that's too early.
Yeah, me too.
August.
But I mean, here's the thing: it gets interesting. What is too early for Days Gone, right? Right now, the impression of it isn't super positive. It's not negative. It's not negative, but it's not like people are like, "Holy shit, I can't wait to play."
But I feel like it's the same for Detroit.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Then let's.
And I'm super excited for Detroit.
Then let's take the Detroit as the example, then, right? Where it was that we played and reviewed God of War, and then there was the event for Andy to go down to, who came back and was like, dude, this game's awesome. If you liked Heavy Rain, you're going to like it, which sold a whole bunch of people on it, and I'm excited for it, right? Yeah, then the demo came, and that was like a month run-up to Detroit Become Human, right? A little bit more. If that's the argument, if you can launch that kind of game, which I think still already has more going for it. It is, people remember Heavy Rain. People know Quantic Dream to an extent, whether that's good or bad. I don't know. I think that a lot of people give Heavy Rain too much credit, where I feel like that it's fucking, you're on thin ice.
It's
now.
a core game.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, it's great, but it's like, I don't think that
it's not mainstream.
Everyone remembers
No. I don't think it's like branching out to people who don't play stuff often.
So
there's a crazy argument
for July. I'm liking this.
There's a crazy argument, of like, all right, cool. You know, they've been working on it. We're proud of it. This Game Informer stuff drops June as the cover story. Here's all this deep dive. Then the one thing that would get really weird about it though is that you'd now be breaking your traditional press model. And I don't know if that's bad ever, but think about how they just did Detroit and how they just did God of War. And I mean, for the full record and full disclosure, this is me hypothesizing. I have no off the record information about an event, but launching it in July, I feel like gets really cumbersome to get that preview cycle out. To have me go play God of War for 2 hours, to have Andy go play Detroit for 2 hours. I need to play Days Gone for 2 hours to come back and be like, you know what, guys? The Game Informer piece was right. Everything's different. You can make the argument, well, you're going to see it at E3 and get behind closed doors at E3 and probably get hands-on at E3. Sure, but that's not the same.
It's going to be overshadowed.
You're going to be, so much stuff is going to be talked about during E3 week. And then after the fact, people are still going to, IGNs and GameSpots and even us, like the 2 weeks after E3 are still digesting E3 of, well, here's something you missed or here's something you did. So it's not like you tear that up and send people off again.
Yeah.
Which of course, maybe we're just pushing into a late July release date. Maybe, I mean, and let's not be crazy, an August release date wouldn't be insane either. Sure, we're getting on top of Spider-Man, but we just put out Detroit's right on the heels of God of War.
Yeah, if it's 2018, it's going to be August.
Okay.
I think July is too soon. It'd be really cool, but yeah, I think there's too many logistical reasons that wouldn't happen. And then you go forward, September Spider-Man, October Red Dead, and then November, December is kind of like putting yourself out to die against the third parties.
Yeah, Red Dead's October 26th, right?
Yeah.
Same day as the PlayStation 2 release date.
Yeah, Mario Odyssey release date. The December slot could be interesting, depending on how Sony looks at this game and what they think it's going to do. Because how big their marketing push for it is and how much money they expect and how many copies they expect to sell.
Right.
December could be fine, but I don't see them doing that. They did it with Last Guardian.
Yeah, but I feel like that was just a bad way to handle that even, right? I feel if you're PlayStation and you're waiting until December, fuck that, man. Wait until January. January 26th or whatever, right around there it is.
Yeah.
Let it happen because it happens every year now that once you get to Black Friday and then you get through the rest, it becomes what's game of the year, and that's a bad time to release a game that you want people to actually have their eyes on. Not that I'm saying Days Gone's game of the year, but the fact that it's this giant open world we might explore. That fucking February part is so perfect.
Late January.
Like, here's something you don't necessarily have expectations for, but you need something new to play, don't you? Because we've already gotten through game of the year and we've done all that stuff.
Yeah. My bet is
August would be fucking crazy, and that'd be rad to see.
If a release date happens at E3 or from the cover story for 2018, I think it's going to be August. Otherwise, I don't think we're going to see a release date until after E3.
Okay. Number 5.
Like betting, you know what I mean?
Huh?
I like putting things on the table.
Well, you're not really betting. You're saying stuff there. You know,
Yeah,
have some balls. Make it. Is it going to be August or is it going to be next year?
I mean, fuck it, August, right? I don't know.
You're crazy and I love you.
Yeah.
Number 5, final story on this giant Roper report. Microsoft appears to be making some kind of Santa Monica studio. This is via Reset Era, who chased all this stuff down. Basically, there's a posting over there for an executive producer / lead producer on a studio. Obviously, go read the Reset Era post if you want to see all of it. I've seen other people reporting on the Reset Era thing, but I'm reading their bold stuff here, right? Hire and grow internal studio talent to build teams and culture. Utilize location in Southern California to build an ecosystem of contract and external employees for production scalability. Responsibilities will include working with studio management, developers, and key stakeholders in the creation of the product vision to help build a new franchise. Provide day-to-day management and leadership to production team while tracking game development with internal / external studios. Qualification experience,
Greg. Experience shipping high quality titles at quadruple A standards.
Hey, man.
Was that a typo?
I don't know. Whatever.
They're like, oh man, Sony Santa
What's
Monica,
bigger?
God of War. We
Yeah,
gotta fucking go bigger.
Experience managing internal teams and external development studios across the world. A knowledge of understanding of the process of building a new IP. Now, here's where I'm rude. Can you do me a favor and open this up and go to the Reset Era post? Because I took the information, but I forgot that I took editorializing from the poster, and I'd like to give them credit like I'm giving authors credit. We'll get back to that. That poster said, Daryl Gallagher, who was recently hired at Xbox on the leadership team, was working in Santa Monica at Activision before being hired at Xbox. And we are supposed to hear about what his role is at Xbox, quote unquote, at E3. So it seems this might be where Daniel, actually, he switches it around. He goes from Daryl to Daniel. Gallagher is working. Also, seem to be working on a new IP. Obviously, take it all with a grain of salt. But these postings are up, and that's really interesting. And we know that, Phil Spencer said, I'm, committed to getting exclusives and IP and all that jazz out there.
I'm not seeing the thread.
My apologies. Then it's gone, and I left you. But you know what? You couldn't figure out if it was Daryl or Daniel. So there you go. That's why I didn't get credit. I'm just joking. I love you, Reset Era. Tim?
Yes.
That's all there is, really. That's a pretty straight news story.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see.
It's cool. I like that.
I'm excited to see. Yeah, oh yeah, totally.
Let's get some fucking exclusives, boys.
I want to know what it's going to be and all that jazz, but it's so far away, that E3 and this announcement and everything else, and the news, if it's Daryl or Daniel Gallagher. If I wanted to know what was coming to the mom and grop shops today, where would I go?
The official list of upcoming software across each and every platform is listed by the Kind of Funny Games Daily Show host each and every weekday, Greg.
It's Daryl Gallagher. I just looked it up. Yeah. Thank you, Kevin. Out today, strap the fuck in, everybody. 2MD VR football on PlayStation VR. AO International Tennis on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Conan Exiles on PS4 and Xbox One. Cool Painter VR on PlayStation VR.
Is that a Cool Greg game?
We gotta look in to see if Cool Painter is an actual tagging video game. Darkest Dungeon Ancestral Edition on PlayStation 4. Dead Ahead Zombie Warfare on PS4 and PlayStation Vita. Yes, that's right. PlayStation Vita. Death Road to Canada on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch. Destiny 2 Warmind on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Hyper Sentinel on PlayStation 4. Ink Explosion on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita. Mega Dimension Neptunia VIIR.
That's a fucking lie. That's not a real name.
On PlayStation 4 and PSVR. Pillars of Eternity Deadfire on PC. Raging Justice on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Are we looking at the game right here? This is Cool Painter VR, Kevin? Do you imagine painting your heart's desire? All right, thank you. Oh, that was Sonic. They're just painting Sonic.
Yeah.
Sonic. Oh, this is like just painting.
Interesting.
I don't know if Cool Greg would like this or not.
You never know.
Okay. Shantae, Half Genie Hero Ultimate Edition on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch. Steins Gate Zero on PC. Tacoma on PlayStation 4. Yes, it has a platinum. Yes, I'm the first person ever to get it. Yes, there's a Let's Play up on youtube.com/kindafunnygames with Steve Gaynor. Through the Woods on PlayStation 4. Trailblazers on PlayStation 4. Of which there is
a hell of a game.
There is a party mode up on youtube.com/kindafunnygames of Trailblazers. We had a great time with it.
We did.
And then Tire, Chains of Valhalla on PlayStation 4. New dates for you. Last Encounter, the intergalactic roguelike twin-stick shooter with extensive weapon customization from Exordium Games, is launching on Windows and Mac today. Reinforcements can join the fight on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One in Q3 2018. Did I copy that right from the press release and give it more context than I normally do? Yes, I did. Do you want to know why?
Why, Greg?
The person representing that game is a Kinda Funny best friend who emailed me specifically to say KFGD new release date for you. And I'll tell you right now, if you're a PR person, that's the best way to get it in here. Because I got a giant million emails in there. I'm sure I missed some, but you're going to call it out? What segment of the show goes on? Thank you. Then, A Semblance Oversight is coming to PlayStation 4 on May 15th. Whew. Tim?
Yes.
It's time for reader mail.
Let's get into
But first I need to tell you it's brought to you by patreon.com/kindafunnygames. Do you like what we do on Kinda Funny Games Daily? I do too. Please head over to patreon.com/kindafunnygames. That is what keeps the mics on and the lights going. Of course, just $1 helps us out quite a bit, and it would get you party mode early, including tomorrow's episode.
I got a question for the people out there.
I got an ad. I remember I wrote the ad.
Yeah, I know, but it's about that. It's about that. What out there? What could we do with this show that would entice you to pay $1 on Patreon for it?
Like, Kinda Funny Games Daily?
Yeah, like what could we add? What type of feature could we add to incentivize a way for us to monetize this? Because we do it for free.
Yeah.
Because we love it.
Yeah.
But
we like to make money off it. Yeah. We want to make sure that we can pay Kevin.
If you have ideas, tweet at me at Tim Geddes. I'd like to see them.
Tweet me too. I'm around. Also, did Comedy Central ever respond? This is like the most epic troll of all time. If they haven't, they're getting a word from me after this thing. Hold on, everybody. I'm opening this up. Here's the thing, Kevin. Yesterday, we're doing the shows. We're having our business. These motherfuckers still haven't. Nothing. I'm living my life, Kev, as I do often around here, as I make great content and I have a lot of fun with you, my friend, and I do all this stuff. Also, Brian Michael Bendis responded to me last night. I kind of freaked out. No big deal. Thank you, Kevin. I love you.
Wait, Brian Michael Bendis followed you?
Tweeted me last night. I haven't gotten the follow yet. I'm working on it. Nor has Tom King followed me back, but we'll get to that. Yesterday at 1:31 in the afternoon, Comedy Central tweets at me, at Game Over Greggy. Hey there, we're hoping to discuss an opportunity with you. Can you please DM us for more info? Thanks. I'm sure it's just going to be, hey, you want to tweet this thing or whatever. It won't be like, hey, we're giving you a Comedy Central show. Hey, you need to come on the fucking at midnight or any of that crap, right? Still exciting and weird and out of the blue. I immediately go to DM them. They don't follow me and their DMs are closed. So I text them and I'm just like, hey, or no, I tweet them, I should say. Hey, your DMs aren't open. I followed you, follow me back so I can DM you. Nothing. And I was like, all right, cool. Maybe they're East Coast time. They're already out of the office. I wake up this morning, nothing. I tweet them 2 hours ago. I was like, hey, I'm still very much interested in this. Nothing. If this show ends and they haven't followed and responded, I'm quote tweeting it and saying all this. So like, this is a pretty great troll. Yeah. This is a pretty good job because I have been now sitting around going like, what the fuck does Comedy Central want to talk to me about? Anyways, I'm not going to bother reading. Tomorrow's the party mode where Andy gets really, really mad at us, and it's a really good watch, and it's really, really funny, and I think it's worth $1. I'd really appreciate if you went over to patreon.com/kindafunny.games. If you went to kindafunny.com, there's a link there too, but I digress. We've been going long, so I'm going to look for some great ones here.
Give me some of that good stuff.
I got the feeling inside my bones. Oh, thank you, Kevin. That was I thought he was having a seizure for a second, and then I did look over. What? Kevin, calm down. You know what I mean? They're not bad questions. I'm gonna do.
Let's do Rakans.
Okay. Rakan wrote into kindafunny.com/KFGD just like you can. It says, "What's up, Kinda Funny? I was looking at the E3 floor map, and of course, many studios have big booths like Sony, Square, and many others. But like two booths I like big booths, and I cannot lie, stood out to me. Both Take-Two and WB Interactive have relatively small spaces. In comparison, Bandai Namco has a bigger space, and they have nothing coming out this year worth mentioning other than Dark Souls Remastered. We all expected Rockstar to skip E3, but does this confirm it? And more importantly, does this indicate that Rocksteady's game won't be shown, or at least that it is not far enough into production to have it on the floor, but just stage show it only? Which makes me sad, because it means we won't play it anytime soon. Love your show. He didn't say that, Rakan. I just wanted to have him sign off.
Astute observations there.
Yes. For sure, Take-Two will not. Rockstar is not going to be there with Red Dead.
Yeah.
I mean, in the best case scenario you can have for any Red Dead stuff is that during the PlayStation
stage.
conference they say something and show something.
Exclusive content stuff, and
They're not going to be there. And then WB Interactive having a relatively small space doesn't surprise me at all.
Their spaces in the past are usually very small but very tall.
Yeah.
They kind of work up with the space that they have, and there's usually not a lot of demo stations around. There's usually that kind of cube that they make.
Yeah.
And then there's like a bunch of screens on the outside, but there's not much playable stuff going on.
Exactly. Usually, and then the playable stuff, with all due respect, is usually the AA games. It's, hey, when they were doing Lego Worlds and stuff like that, or any of the Lego games were in. Hey, you can go watch these or play these or whatever. They usually, have a behind closed doors booth somewhere in there that, is where they bring people and sit them on little cubes
Mortal Kombat.
and show them stuff. I would think that, somebody else wrote in if they thought we'd see the new Mortal Kombat this year. Interesting.
Oh,
an interesting
very
idea
interesting.
of Mortal Kombat 11, I guess, being shown at one of the conferences. But Rocksteady for sure. I think Rocksteady, as I've said before, is there. I'm putting my money on them being at the Xbox conference. I pray to God it's that Superman game, but we'll get to. I doubt it is. I just refuse to get excited for it. And Kevin, you weren't here, by the way. There's this rumor going around that there's a Superman game coming from Rocksteady. It was on 4chan, which makes it feel like, And then everybody started talking about it.
The thing about 4chan is it's either total bullshit someone's making up, or it is 100% fact and they know exactly what they're talking about.
I did say, Kevin, if that Superman game happens at E3 during the reaction thing, there's a good chance I'm going to punch out the fucking wall.
The LED wall or one of these foam walls?
The LED wall.
No.
I'm just letting you know I said that. I think I'll honestly probably be reduced to tears, so I won't even be able to do anything. But I wanted to let you know what happened. Okay?
You watch yourself, kid.
I will, buddy. Rocksteady, for me personally, their game being there was never going to be playable. Rocksteady is a desk side visit. It is a giant. Every time the first time I saw the Batman Arkham Asylum, was when they showed it was at IGN's demo room. There was a GDC reveal of Arkham City, but we didn't play it. Like, we went into a room.
Yeah.
Like, those aren't games they toss the controller to you on first viewing.
No.
So I don't think you have to worry about necessarily how big the booth is meaning anything. But Rocksteady's game wasn't coming out this year ever. I don't think that was ever happening. Whatever they're doing, they're Rocksteady, and I assume the IP is big, whether it be Superman, Ninja Turtles, or more Batman or something. Mm-hmm. And I would assume you want a lot of lead time. No, based on how they've advertised those games before.
Yeah,
you want a lot of lead time before you get over.
And looking at some of these other ones, like obviously PlayStation and Microsoft and Nintendo have their booths, and we know exactly what they're going to be in their layout and stuff. I guess Microsoft did move over to the other.
Yeah, now they're over at LA Live or whatever, and just mixers there. Mix it up.
Yeah,
is that their slogan? Because it should be.
It's not.
Is it all in the mix? That'd be a good one too.
Well, we should check if that was used before.
Okay.
Square usually has a giant sprawling booth with hella game demos. Like, so many playable stations of a ton of games that Zyger's excited about. You know what I mean? And there's usually not many people waiting to play them, and you can just go up and like that's a good booth to go if you're just trying to play some games.
Sure, you just want to see some
and Bandai Namco, similar thing. I imagine in years past they usually have a huge area with a bunch of different demo kiosks for people to play. Because then once you start getting to some of the other guys like Ubisoft, it's more about the panache and presentation of it all, right?
Yeah.
And it's all behind closed doors shit where the real action's happening. There's like some areas to play, but like E3's weird. Not every area is really made for people to play games. It's more just to look cool.
Advertising.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but don't get scared. Reckon everything's still happening. Tim, it's time to squad up.
Oh, yes.
This is where one of you writes into kindafunny.com/KFGD. Give me your name, username, platform of choice, and why you need help in video games. I read it here. The best friends come and find you. Everybody plays games together and has a great time. Today, Jack Tyler needs help on iOS/Android. Apparently, his username there is BagelFart. All one word, BagelFart. BagelFart says, I'm looking for help in Summoner's War on either the European server. Well, that doesn't make any sense. I'm American, and it's hard to find an English-speaking guild on that server, obviously. But I can't move my account to a different server, so I'm coming here looking for help. So, if you play Summoner's War on either the European... maybe it means either European server. You need to find BagelFart. He needs help on iOS/Android. He has every device, apparently. And he's on every server except American. So, everybody, God bless. Find BagelFart. Tim?
Yeah.
We ask people watching us record the show live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames to keep us honest in a segment we call You're Wrong. They go to kindoffunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what facts we screwed up while we were making the show. What did we screw up today?
There was only like 3 of them.
Okay.
And then I refreshed and there's like 15.
All right.
So I'm going to have to make my way downtown.
Making my way downtown.
Going through this, it looks like there's a lot of people clarifying the Nintendo account situation and that it is similar to Spotify where there is no strings attached.
Oh, wow. All right, great.
Yeah. Kebab says Mankind Divided. The game's announcement was leaked a day in advance of its official unveiling in early April 2015 during a Twitch stream.
Way to go, Jen.
The Cal G says Days Gone was confirmed delayed to 2019.
No, it wasn't. I hate that. I refuse to do that. Oh, wait. I see. I'm sorry. First off, yeah, okay. It was never confirmed for 2018. When they were finally like 2019, I think they were just trying to silence people being worried about it. But I also think that could change on a dime. My apologies. I was freaking out at the wrong thing about that sentence.
Yeah, and then Charles Jacobson follows up, says back in March, Days Gone release was changed to 2019. So,
then it better be.
Okay, thank God. All the ones that
January.
updated, they're all about the same thing.
Okay, good. About Days Gone.
Yeah.
Days go by. I can feel it running like a hand in the wind.
The Reset Era member who posted the Microsoft Santa Monica info is Raichu.
Thank you.
That comes from Ants in My Pants.
Scott
Lord Apone says missed release. Burnout Revenge is now available on Xbox One via backwards compatibility and is currently on sale. So it's also a deals of the day.
Wow, it's everything.
Yeah.
It's also reader mail.
And Patrick Hutchinson says Namco Bandai has Soul Calibur 6 coming out later this year. That's true. That'll be at E3 for sure. Yep.
All right.
That's it, boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show, kindoffunny.com/KFGD. Then watch it live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. Watch it later on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. And listen on podcast services around the globe, including Spotify and iHeartRadio. Tomorrow, the busiest lady in the business, Andrea Renee, returns. But until then, it's been our pleasure to serve you.